Listen.
Well, I have been saying, and I'll reiterate it, if you can't guarantee that people are going to have constructive intentions, anytime you go anywhere, everyone who is on the scene, particularly where it comes to black people, because we have all been loaded with poison. We have to realize that. We have a certain amount of hostility toward each other. We have to recognize that. You can get on a bus and you can almost feel the hostility if that bus is crowded with black people. I mean, you can just feel it. You can just feel that, that there's vibes. It's not harmonious at all. It's not pleasant at all. I mean, when you get where you're going, you're anxious to get off of there. I mean, you can just feel something, even with no one saying anything, because there's all this hostility. The way you can see it in people's eyes, you can see it in their body language and whatnot. And this has always been, going back, I'll say, starting with right after World War II in particular, because before World War II, you had the signs up in a lot of places, rear seat for colored, white section only. And so that kept black people kind of on their toes and a little bit of affinity for each other, because even when they got on a bus, they were reminded that they were nothing, that you are nobody. Get to the back and don't step on any white people's feet on your way there, or you just might be dead. That's how you might spend your morning in the morgue. So you understand that, you boys and girls. You boys and gals, you nothing people, you Negroes. You shouldn't even be on the bus. You should be honored to even get on the same bus with white people. So that kept black people kind of looking at each other and saying, well, maybe we should have a little bit of affinity for each other, rather than nowadays when the signs are down and have long been down, we got on a bus with complete hostility. Total hostility. We ought to think about that. Someone says good morning to you. I mean, you look around, as if to say, what you saying good morning to me for? I mean, might be a good morning for you. It ain't no good morning for me. You don't know nothing about my life. I'll cut your throat. But that type of hostility, in their minds at least. They know who they are. We know who we are. We know we're like that, and we ought to stop it. Black people talk mostly to each other in order to argue. That's really why they're talking. They don't know this, but that's why they're talking. They're not trying to learn nothing. They're not, they're just trying to, like I said in the book, show-offism. They're trying to show how much they have learned from white people. But they're trying to show it to another black person because it doesn't make sense to show it to a white person. Because that's just who told them. What do you think a black person is doing when they walk around waving their degree? I hear some black professors and whatnot. I mean, stand up talking about, how much they have learned, and how degreed they are and all like that. And then turn right around and start talking about dumb white folks. And that's who gave them their degree. They came a long distance, some of them all the way from Nigeria someplace, trying to learn. Learn from who? Me? No, they passed right by me. That's the one intelligence that they have. How many black people do you see? And I'll go further than that. How many white people do you see following black people all over the world trying to learn how to get to the moon? That's not where you go. Doesn't work. Anybody who will tell the truth know that don't work.
I know some non-white people who would say there are white people who
are not smart. I, in fact, just heard
A whole lot of them, and they're correct. I'm going to join right in before you even go that way. Yes, a whole lot of white people who don't know a whole lot of things. But you know what? Under the system of white supremacy, they know enough. Because they don't have to know. And what is that enough? Something I heard a white woman say one time. A bunch of black people were laughing at her because they was laughing at the way that she dressed. He was talking about how tacky she was at the way that she dressed. This was on a job that I was on. They were getting on the elevator and they were cracking up at the way that she was dressed. Because she was dressed in what most people would say in an outlandish manner. This outlandish, okay? Like she had gone out of her way to attract a whole lot of laughter, okay? But she heard them laughing at her. She turned around and said one thing. Yes, but I'm white. And walked off.
Wow.
In other words, y'all can laugh at me and dressed in all your fine clothes and all like that. But I can do things that you will never do in your entire life. I can go places. I got connections that you will never have. No matter your children will never have. That's what she was saying. That was back in the 60s. Those black people on that elevator got dead quiet.
Wow.
Because they knew that she was telling the truth. Say, yeah, I can dress any cotton-picking way I want to. But you got no right to laugh at me. Because when you look at my overall circumstances and yours, no contest. That's what she was saying in just that one statement. Now, she didn't say all that. She just made one statement. But I was standing nearby. I knew exactly what it meant. Yeah, but I'm white, you know. I don't have to dress no kind of way. I don't even have to have clothes on. I'm still in a league better than you. I got connections better than you'll ever have. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. So all of y'all on that elevator, I mean, just get on it, close the door, and go straight to the ghetto.
Wow.
Now, some people have said they've seen some cartoons of my work on the internet that have been presented, and that it pretty well embellishes what I have been trying to say in my textbooks. And to the extent that it does that, well, that has been, from what I understand, some people reported to me, a plus. Because they didn't understand what I had written very well, but when they saw those cartoons that just repeated what I was saying and attaching my name to it, and came right out of the book, the material did, they say that they better understood it. And I can understand that because people are kind of visual, particularly in the year 2021 now, more visual than ever.